All right, so here's a little bit of update on what's going on with all the stuff down here in my basement. And by stuff, I mean my turtles and fish. This is the female Salvini, the larger of the two that I bought at the same time as hatchlings. She's had a little bit of, it looked like fungus or maybe just like a wound on her head from being bit, because I had the two of them together and they seemed to fight over food, real food aggressive. And I don't know if it was a wound that was slow to heal because the water didn't have good enough filtration, or if it was some of the fungus that you hear about with water turtles. It was just some white spots. She's been in quarantine. There's a heater and a filter. I got medicine in there, so I don't even have carbon on there. But I clean this no later than every 2 weeks, probably once a week, depending on how dirty it gets. She seems to be doing great. I was dry docking her every weekend. Each day I would dry dock her for about 5 hours and put Neosporin on her head as well. That's another trick for getting them to clear up. Her appetite and her activeness has never changed during any of this, even prior to treatment, so she's been pretty good. Um, this 55 gallon I just completely cleaned out. It took me at least a couple hours to haul out all the dirty water, clean everything out, clean the rocks, and put in new filter cartridges. Right now I'm letting my temp come down a little bit because the water I added was a little bit warm. I went ahead and added my snapping turtle in there. He's been in quarantine for months now in his own aquarium. He had some kind of fungus at one point when I was keeping him in a 10-gallon aquarium and giving him a dry spot to bask. Yeah, he does bask. And it all cleared up. It's been cleared up for a long time now. I just also, here's my little pet supply area. I started using some of this stuff here. API aquarium salt. Never believed in it, never thought it was necessary. I always was thinking in my head, why the hell would you put salt in freshwater tanks? But once I did the research and I understand what it's for, I like to put it in there because it can prevent fungus and diseases and just common things, not only with fish, but also with turtles. So I put a little bit of that in all my tanks for the most part. Well, not in here. I haven't put any in here with my hatchlings. They're doing great. Can't really see him. Let me get a better shot. This little dude is a beast, man. Damn camera's all blurry. Anyway, out of the two hatchlings, one seems to be growing a lot faster than the other one. There's the other one. You can't really see her. I call the smaller one the her and the bigger one the boy. I don't know how accurate that is. This is my male Salvini, and I've had him upstairs living in a 30-gallon tank that I have one cichlid in. And I had more cichlids. I had a nice collection of Africans, some blue Johannes, stuff like that. But in the transition from summer to fall, we had left my window open and I had taken all of my heaters out of my tanks for the summertime because they were just getting too damn hot. Well, anyway, I left my window open, I guess one too many nights, and that temperature dropped down in the 60s and it killed two of my fish. The only one that's alive still is my firemouth. And this guy was up there living with him because he was living in here with the female and with my, I believe it was a female Mississippi mud turtle. The three of them lived in this 40-gallon breeder tank. And I was cleaning it like crazy, like all the time. Well, then that's when I decided to build this, courtesy of DIY Aqua Pros. That's where the idea came from. Mine's a little bit different. I mean, I don't know anybody that made theirs exactly the way those guys did, but it's a pretty decent idea. It has its issues. I could do a different video about that if anybody's even interested in hearing about it, but it works. That's the main thing. It works. It's a pretty good filter. And It's definitely better than what I was using. So I decided to take this guy out of his tank where he was living by himself, which is, my fish are in these styrofoam containers. That's what I use when I do water changes or when I'm moving or anything. I use those. I stand by them. They're the best. He was living in here. Had everything he needed. Didn't really have a heater, but this is a heated basement. And his temperature would stay about 74, like you can see it is right now. Took him out of there. I'm deciding not to do it. It'll also be one less aquarium for me to worry about this winter. I do work full time and go to school, so less stress on me is a better thing to do. So I'm going to take this completely apart, clean it out and everything. And, oh yeah, by the way, my snakes are doing great. This is just an all-around update. That's my albino Korean rat snake. That is my Goini king snake. It's a Florida hybrid. He's doing great. He's about full grown. And here's Snowflake. I hate to say it, but my favorite. It's my snow corn. She's gorgeous. She's doing great. She's getting pretty big. This old girl right here is doing pretty good. You can kind of see that white spot on her head. It's really minimized quite a bit. And like I said in my last video, I'm using this crap right here. Herbal, fungal, bacterial relief. It's supposed to heal it up. That with the aquarium salt, it works pretty well. And cleaned this Beast 40 breeder out not too long ago, and I put the new filter on it, and like I said, it seems to be doing well. I just added that other fake log in there today. It wasn't here. I scrubbed it out real good with hot water and put it in there because they have really minimal places to hide on top of not having a substrate in the tank. So I figured more places to hide, especially since I put a turtle in there. He was raised with fish, so I don't think it's an issue. I also put my high fin pleco back in there, and I had put him in here. He's been moved around a lot. I'm going to leave him in there. I feel bad for him. Anyways, right now, these guys have been dry docked since I started this whole tank cleaning adventure, but it ain't a big deal. Anybody that's ordered turtles know that they put them in dry containers. There is the Mississippi mud. Also, my larger Mississippi mud that I was telling you was in the 40-gallon tank, I ended up getting rid of her. She was a little bit aggressive, and she was probably going to get hurt sooner or later, and I believe she was getting bit on by this big female Salvini. So there's a turtle I've had the longest. My Razorback. He's an OG. Hella cool. Had him for a long time. Look how fat he is. It just weighs that thing down. By the way, these floating docks right here, I hate to say it, but they're garbage. I mean, he never basks. He's always had the opportunity, and he just doesn't give a shit about it. And I stand by the fact that some mud and musk turtles, not only do they not need to bask, well, mainly musk turtles, they have no want to bask, and they really, I mean, he's gone without UVB lights. He really could care less. This little guy likes to bask occasionally, but nothing major. As you can see, they're both completely healthy, in great condition, and they get along great, so I keep them together. This guy was a little bit smaller. I found him. He was, I thought he was missing an eye when I caught him, so I went ahead and brought him home. But he was about the size of a quarter, maybe even a little smaller. I've had him for maybe 1.5 years, 2 years now, and he's grown and he's healthy. And he's lived with other turtles before. I've kept him with other turtles before, but he's not much of a size difference with these guys, both in terms of shell and the head. So everything should be okay. Obviously, I'll keep an eye on him. If I sense any troubles going on, I'll put him back in his tank by himself. But I just figured he could use better filtration, more space mainly. And also I have a heater in here, like 150 watt. I don't know what it is, but it keeps this tank warm. So basically, that's how I got it right now. I'm cleaning out my African cichlid tank upstairs since I took that male Salvini out of it. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that just for fish because he tore up my plant. I had plants in there. He completely destroyed everything. He really belongs in this tank with no substrate or no fake plants or real plants. He's just really, really fucking bad about tearing shit up. Real destructive. I mean, it's not really his fault. That's just the nature of the beast. But it was a good call taking him out of there. Plus, I don't really like having turtles and stuff like that in my living room. It's cool for my son's friends when they come over, but I don't know. Not everybody likes it, and I have all this space down here to keep all this stuff, so I might as well utilize it. But anyway, if anybody has any knowledge, they could drop on me about the turtle fungus, or if anybody's made their own canister filter like this and has any info on how to keep it running good and can give me any kind of information, I would appreciate it. That's just a little update. Like I said, these baby turtles are doing real good. Here in a few months, I plan on ordering some more stuff. Right now, I'm just waiting, getting through the winter. And I'm hoping to build that shelf I've talked about in previous videos. I'm going to build a big shelf to hold these snake tanks and stuff. So everything's still moving forward. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you watch this, any questions, hit me up in the comments. You know, I can answer you. It's not like I have 1 million subscribers or anything. If you like the stuff I put out, subscribe. If I have more subscribers, I'll make more intimate videos, you know, what with the editing and all that shit. But right now, you know, I just make these mainly for myself and just to show people, you know, what I'm doing. I like to watch videos about people's setups and what they got going on and get ideas, see what kind of animals other people are keeping, learning any tricks of the trade. So that's why I make this stuff. I'm not trying to get famous or, you know, internet famous. I'm just trying to do my thing. Anyway, like, comment, hit me up, subscribe. Thank you.